Hello, brothers and sisters out there, YouTube subscribers. How you doing, black folks? Hello, how you doing? I have a question to us. Black folks, have we become too desensitized to see what's happening to us and what we're doing to each other? Have we? Hold on 1 second, let me close my door. My question to us black people. Yeah, my office is a little junky here. So I just do some stuff around, but black people, have we become desensitized of what's happening to us and what we're doing to each other? And I'm not. I'm not desensitized. I'm watching it and I see it and it bothers me. I'm constantly seeing news stories of black people shooting each other in anger. I understand there's a lot of anger because of the shaping of who you are as a black person. I'm not going to make excuses that you would do this to each other, but that is true if you look at the science. People that are in province and different things like that, it's adjacent to crime. And you end up doing sensitive stuff to each other. And you're angry. You have some anger of being positioned a such way. I mean, we've normalized the way we are positioned. You know what I'm saying? We positioned where we black, black people, a lot of black people struggle. Not all black people are icons and rich. We're trying to start businesses. Most black people don't have a real company, but they have businesses like where we go get LLCs and we do a little this and that. We make enough money to try to sustain a little rent. Some of us, even some psychologists are like that. We really don't have the privilege of being white or partner of white supremacy. Other people partner. So they go out in other groups when they get licenses to do this or they get in community, they throttle because they're welcome in that space. There is an oppression, a real senseless oppression with black people. There is a systemic racism that forces black people in crabs in a bucket syndrome. And there's a horrible bad response to that where we hurting each other. I mean, significantly. Well, there's just simple arguments, and then it escalates. And it's the N word come out, nigga, you don't know who you talking to. Hey, what do you do? And then we're emulating hard character from TV. So then we go, pow, pow, pow. Who you think you talking to? You got a mental health issue? Whatever we saying, whatever we doing. Oh, man, that's my girl. Blah, 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 blah. You trying to talk to my girl? Blah, blah, blah. All kinds of stuff happen when people are in province. I get it. I want to explain that to let other black folk know that me and a lot of other people understand why this situation is like it is. My brother and I got into it when I went home to his family gathering. I'm older than him. He wants my attention. But I moved away and he's been there. He hasn't moved yet. He's married. He's got a wife. But he still wants my attention and I can't really give him the attention that he wants. Not only that, but also he's grown. But he's still my brother. But a lot of this is coming with the comfortability of what we can access and what we can do. If I can fly him in every other week because he's my brother and we need to bond like people with a lot of money would do, a lot of money, then we may be a little bit more comfortable. If we could, get together and easily put a roof on my mama's house when we buying piece by piece stuff so she can, do what she got to do. And that kinds of stuff causes frustration when you're not able to access comfortability. That's part of the reason why we need reparations so that we can access that and we can calm down and do something about all our anger issues. Because you can be in the wrong anchoring or a hard anchoring and everything come out aggressively sideways or suppressed, even suppressed. A lot of black folks suppress a lot of stuff. A lot of black people in denial. One denial situation we bought into a social illusion that we exist normally and we don't. No, we don't. We've been forced to a dysfunctional element according to what we can access, but we still are a beautiful people that are gifted people that the society thrive from and admires also in certain forms, like our entertainment. But they also now trying to take that, but they admire it so much. We don't have any friends. But we do have beauty, is what I'm saying, as black people. This is real in my assessment. And we can look at things positively, but a lot of times we find ourselves emulating the other side so that we can be safer, whether we're in politics, whether we're working in corporate, or whether we're in the medical fields. We are trying to cloak ourselves in some other thing like whiteness in order to be adjacent to be in peace about our operation or our expertise, whatever we're supposed to do out there. We, try to do it another way than our culture, because our culture has been sifted and destroyed. But I also want to talk to us. We have overclass black people. We have some black elite people. I don't think we understand what's going on. I know we may do a little bit, but we are a sleeping giant. Have we been desensitized, icons, according to who we are and what we need to do? Do we not realize we need to protect the community, those who are overskilled and overclassed? Do we not realize that our politicians are favoring other people's affairs and concerns while we're in dire situation in our communities, in state level, federal level? We had a president to just give incentives, political incentives to groups saying that they need protections. I mean, you got illegals running around with $15,000 checks, paying for down payment on houses, refacing their homes, refacing their businesses, also getting COVID money up on top of that. Able to put inside their businesses. That's a form of protections. When money and access to things is a protection, that's a wealth. It's not just about the money, it's what you can do with it. And when you get it, how you are protected in terms of your opportunity, your choices. So I'm watching them. I'm in North Atlanta. These people refacing their homes. They're able to pay down on rent, and black people going inside of motels to live, or shabby places where it's not happiness, and fighting each other, or trying not to fight each other, or trying not to be angry. Don't understand politics. Voting for people that's against them, us, black people doing that. When it's an all-out war on black people already. I just looked up a story where I saw it earlier today where a Chinese, or not Chinese, but an Asian guy, whether he's Chinese or not, Ryan Win, he shot a little boy, 6-year-old boy. The little boy made it. He shot him through the arm in Ypsilanti, Michigan. You can look it up, the story. Because the little black boy was getting his bike out the yard. But they let him out of jail on a $10,000 bond. That's attempted murder. So our justice system, judicial exchanges, is telling the public and other people, oh, they don't mean anything. We'll make it look like they do because you got to pay this to get out of here, but you're not going to face real criminal charges. Like you did try to kill him, but you didn't. So let's treat it as though you didn't try to kill him. A little boy. And we have black people that are in iconic positions who right now are stomping for Asian hate crime. Danny Glover. Then we got Al Sharpton, who is supposed to be leadership in the black struggle as a civil rights leader, stomping for Asians, while Asians is shooting our children, our kids. So we're at war against ourselves. Also, on top of the fact that it's an all-out war against black people. So I don't know if they saying, well, if they don't care about themselves, we don't care nothing about them either. They could be saying that. It's probably a higher percentage that they are saying that. They probably are saying that. And I think I would too, maybe. A lot of times you do say stuff like this. So I can say that it's wrong for them to dehumanize a group of people in terms of a system of laws. But if you're going to power, it's not about being a good person when it comes down to the laws of attraction anyway. So if you're going to go to power, that's the game. Y'all don't care about yourself? What they saying. So you got us running around shooting each other In Jackson, Mississippi, old ladies. No, I'm not talking about us, but we in anger and we in resentment and we swallowed up in this place. And there's not a loud enough outcry from us. But we at the grassroots and the voices, the people who follow the new voices of black media and who are the new voices of black media, are very conscious about this subject. And we want to do something about it. But black people want to have a good time. Those who feel safe, you want to fish fry, you want to party, that's fine. But make sure you cover some issues before you decide to do all that. And make sure when you get finished, you come back to it. Because self-preservation is the first rule of law. So we out of order. We don't practice the first rule of law. That's self-preservation. Our politicians are not practicing the first rule of law in terms of us. We got Jim Clyburn saying he don't want nothing for his vote. When he went around doing fish fries, asking black people and stomping for President Joe Biden. Jim Crow Joe Biden. He's stomping for him, but you get on national media news and tell the people you don't want nothing for your vote, Jim Clyburn, that you have been past the promise. All you want is for your kids to have a safe environment to be in, or they can be who they want to be. But so that lets you know our politicians don't really even think about us as a society. That's not, that is not I'm not receptive to that. That shouldn't be reciprocal to us. As a politician, you see, this stuff happens at the top. If you get the head, the ass will fall in every situation. So all this stuff at the top is affecting who we are. But then they say, oh, you're making excuses. No, everything's throttled in together. Everything touches. Everything's a science. Just like math. Everything's connected. We are connected to our born institutions, historical institutions that other people are taking over. We are connected to our political standing, our political anchoring that has happened to us, unfortunately. We are connected to that. That meets us at home. Not way in the streets, not down at the corner store. We are living and breathing this stuff. Where people come into contact with us who are us that are angry and don't know why. They don't access the life that they can be happy in. Some of us do. Some of us go find it. Some of us get education. And then when we get out there and we get comfortable, a lot of times we promote whatever they want us to because we don't own anything. That's not real power. You're not anchored in a place of power. Power is not necessarily you taking over something. Power is also protection. You give groups a certain empowerment for themselves so that they can groom themselves. Why do you think other people are getting money and executive orders from the president? Because he wants them to be safe. He wants them to feel the opportunity that the United States offer people in communities and the business camaraderie of that. And it takes a dollar amount to begin that. This is something that's denied to black people as a group. There's 40-something million black people in the country that are descendants of slavery. I'm not talking about necessarily Africans and other islanders that are black people, but I still love my blackness and I love them. But they are different when it comes down to political exchanges. They came here to experience the American dream. That's the difference in them and us. This is our home. We're locked here. We were imported here. This is where we were in prison. This is the grounds of prisoner to us. Our ancestors were slaves to this society, and we're still slaves if we don't get what people are supposed to get to exist here in our historical sufferings and what we've been through. My mother was fighting in Jim Crow, man. She went out and voted for the President Joe Biden, and I told her not to. We didn't understand. Our group and massively did not understand. Your vote is a tangible that these people want. Now he's in the reins of power. He hasn't given anything to her or me or anybody in our community or family. But you were doing an exhibit on Black Wall Street. And you still haven't gave an executive order to that. to that cause, to that historical massacre that happened in a lot of places, not just on Black Wall Street. That's a slap in the face, and it's an insult. And they choose not to look at his chessboard and how he's manipulative. You messing with Joe Biden, you dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. You think Trump bad. Somebody who can look in your face and tell you they love you and treat you this way is worse. He's looking to weaponize people against black folks, and he's laughing at the Congressional Black Caucus. And they are part of his team. That is the makeup of the federal legislative board. That's the makeup of leadership that he personally contacts and deal with. And he's laughing at them because they are the Congressional Black Caucus that other people use for their liberties. They have been let inside our born institutions. They have shoehorned their way into other groups. Ilhan Omar come to mind. You see what I'm saying? And what's that other girl name who they had to shut up? The Latino girl, she very young. I forgot her name. That stomps for them from New York. She come to mind. Got a Mexican running the NAACP. That's leaving us open to exploit and harm. Our lives are at stake. Our ideas. But we have to stand. And that's what we're doing. But black people, more yet, I'm saying let's just come together. We see what they're doing. And we see what we're doing and how we've been shaped. So we need to keep pulling together the code of conduct. Our icons, y'all need to stop sitting around being comfortable doing deals with Hollywood, sitting off in y'all mansion scared about y'all losing business and fame. It is time for us to come together and pull ourselves together in this war. There's an all-out war on black people and a very soft genocide that's rising. We got people out here shooting out babies, getting out of jail on $10,000 bonds. Ryan Lee Wynn in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We got people shooting the police. We're supposed to be protecting us. Andrew Brown getting shot. People shooting our female girls in traffic violations. They're supposed to be police officers. And going free, hiding evidence. To our community, which support the idea of your success as icons. You black icons, you get support from us. That's why you have the riches that you have, because you definitely ain't really got no wealth. You may be rich, and you may be overclass and elite, but when it comes down to wealth, that is a team sport. You can ask Bill Cosby about that. Ask R. Kelly. Soon you'll be able to ask Oprah, and you can still ask her because she was a pitch girl. And I said that, and I don't disrespect her because she's older to be my mother. That doesn't matter. They used her and yanked her and Gail both around, giving them money, defaming their integrity, and they're allowing it because they are not in charge. There are millionaires that have a slavish, subservient way, while people are getting paid from you, actors, entertainers, ball players, making billions or hundreds of millions, and you only getting a few to defame your community and act like we don't exist. That's nothing. Who does that? No other group does that but black people. Slave descendants. And this is where we need to stop. We need to order protection for each other and have the physical form of ourselves in self-preservation. Making the first step. Standing, being crying out loud. All these YouTube videos y'all doing ain't about nothing if we don't get somewhere and take care of ourselves. And shout out to everything that's happening to us in this war. None of it. Trying to help other people on your platform. Don't nobody need no help but black folks. Descendants of slavery. I don't care how rich you are. Don't nobody else need no help. We stomped. The grassroots stomped. That's why we told them to go get Harvey Weinstein. That's why they stopped going to get black men saying that they were hurting, raping females. Because we was over here stomping and yelling about it. We were challenging the narrative on a lot of stuff. But they trying to quiet us down and put us back to sleep, rock us to sleep in the Democrat Party. Now they got the full reins of power. We kind of oozed on in because it was some going on in the parties where, divide and conquer. Well, we were conquering, and we still are. Because they don't expect us to follow them and see what they're doing and look at their language and those whistleblower terms. They're trying to harm all of us. There may be some good folks out there, good white people, good people in other groups, But I'm talking about in terms of government anchoring and what people are doing to keep themselves safe is to go ahead and demise black people's experience. That's illegal. It's unconstitutional. And it's treason among us. We need to pay attention and get on board. Look at the news stories and start standing on your platforms and talking about our issues and our issues only. Make a stance. Make a stance, black folks. I'm tired of looking at us. We can talk to each other about our violence we commit. People demising who I am because the group massively that I belong to is in such a dysfunction. And it's also because of the United States sanction of slavery and what it's supposed to give according to our historical sufferings. We don't access that. We need some knowledge to know what's going on. And they will respect who we are. Power is taken. It's not given. We have to demand this through rhetoric, through action. Politicians pay attention because you're slavish out there. Sheila Lee Jackson, Jim Clyburn, this is about us. Stacey Abrams, stop cloaking yourself in whiteness. We need protection. Ain't no for the undocumented, what you said in Georgia. Stop cloaking yourself in whiteness. We need our politicians. Stop it. Arguing with each other. We need to handle this stuff behind the camera if we can't fight together, because unity is power. We don't have that, we don't have anything.